Dynamic Wit Comedy Podcast. Thank you for listening. Happy November. Friday morning, November 1st, 2024. Put your Christmas tree away. I know you're about to touch it because Halloween's over and you think it's time for the Christmas. No, it's not. Christmas is 2.5 months away, so let's just calm a month and a half away. Sorry. 7 weeks. That's a long time. November 1st to December 25th. The only way you're allowed to justify getting ready for Christmas on November 1st is if you get ready for the 4th of July on May 1st. Deal? How about the day after Christmas, you start putting up the Valentine's Day decorations? We don't get to just skip holidays. Right now, you should be decorating your house in Thanksgiving attire and fall colors. Or what you could do is whatever the hell you want because it's no one else's business. Just because I don't agree with it doesn't mean I'm right, which is kind of the theme of today's show. I heard a great quote the other day from Ricky Gervais, and if you don't know Ricky Gervais, you should probably look him up. Kind of a controversial comedian. He hosted the Golden Globes 5 times, and each time he just ridiculed and made fun of the Hollywood Foreign Press, as well as many celebrities in the audience. One of the best jokes he said, which I'm surprised didn't get much more controversy, was when he was talking about all the breakthroughs Caitlyn Jenner had made for women's rights and stuff like that. But she didn't do a lot to help the stereotypes of women driving, because she hit and killed someone. So that's who Ricky Gervais is. And he was in an interview and he said, just because you're offended doesn't mean that you're right. That is very true. It doesn't mean you're wrong, but it doesn't mean the other person is wrong either. Listen, I've heard some offensive jokes. I've heard some offensive things. There's been things that I don't find funny, but I've never lashed out on social media or whined and complained because someone crossed a line in my world. You know what I did? Nothing. Just kind of let it go because they already said it. It's going to be out there forever. And it's just better to find a way, if not to laugh at the joke, then find something else to laugh at and distract yourself. But most importantly, and I'll tell you why I bring this up, is if you're going to dish jokes out, you have to be able to take them. I see a lot of people, especially this time of year, not just because there's a political election happening next week or the fact that it's, rivalry week for a lot of college football teams. I see just a lot of back and forth hatred on social media. And a lot of it is in good fun because the people who can also take a joke and laugh at themselves seem to be the happier ones out there. But the ones who get really upset and really worked up over this stuff that for all intents and purposes doesn't really matter in your life, it becomes a miserable thing for them. And then they make kind of everyone around them just as miserable. Last night was Halloween. I took my kids trick-or-treating. And in the neighborhood we were trick-or-treating in, there's a house that every year builds this big, cool, scary pirate ship that you get to walk through for free. But there's a QR code you can scan and make donations. The line to get in this pirate ship was around the corner. Hundreds and hundreds of people lined up to go through this house. And after my kids went through it, they wanted to go through it again. By the way, my kids are 5 and 3 years old. They love scary shit, which they for sure get from me. My mom was the kind of mom that would watch Freddy Krueger and Friday the 13th and Chucky with me when I was like 8 years old. The scariest movie my wife's ever seen is Brigham City. And so we went through that thing twice, and there's hundreds of people out there, and everyone was having a great time. The night before, I went to the Tuacahn Amphitheater here in town, where I saw the production of Thriller, which is a dance show, which, if you know anything about my past, you know that one of the few things I hate in life is a dance show. My little sister was in a dance company, so was my older sister, so I went to a lot of competitions on Saturdays, and I went to the ballet several times. And one time I was so miserable that I was actually crying by intermission because of how much I hated it. Do you know how old I was? I wasn't a little boy. I was a sophomore in high school. I was 16 years old. And I told my dad, look, I know I'm failing math, but why am I being punished for this? I don't like going to dance competitions. Not because I have anything wrong with the art of dance. What they do is incredible. I can do it. And just because it's not my thing doesn't mean I don't respect it. I don't like it because of all the woo girls. Any dance competition ever, there's a bunch of girls screaming, woo! And it's just a headache. But nonetheless, I went to the presentation. My wife's brother was in it. We went to support him. And Tuacahn Amphitheater holds 2,500 people, and it was full. And there were people there to enjoy and have fun. Sidebar, if you're going to any sort of event, performance event, sporting event, don't be late. So many people trickle in late, and it's a distraction to other people. It's disrespectful, but also just don't be late. I hate when people are late. I hate it. It's one of my least favorite things. I'm not OCD about a lot of things, but being 10 minutes early to everything, definitely an OCD of mine. But here's the point of all this. 2 nights in a row, people out together, celebrating, having fun, not thinking about the election next week, not thinking about political terms, not thinking about the Utah-BYU football game, not thinking about anything. They're out having fun, enjoying celebration, and being together. The political system in our country is important. I'm not saying that. But it's not so important that it should dictate whether or not you're able to go out and have a good day. When I'm on stage, I'm not thinking about anything other than what kind of laughter am I hearing from the crowd. When I'm in the crowd, I'm not thinking about anything other than, is this performance of whatever kind it is keeping me engaged and distracted from the crazy world that we live in. Next Tuesday is an election day, and we're going to figure out which side wins and which side is going to scream conspiracy. Honestly, I don't care who you vote for. Kind of don't even care if you vote. But again, I'm not here to get political because whoever you are voting for, you've already decided. And you didn't change your mind because of a social media post. It just doesn't happen. What I am excited for, and what I think is important, is that after the election, we can talk about anything else. Despite who wins, they're going to bitch about it for a while, but there's going to be other things we can worry about. So sick of it. We can worry about important things like football. Like the fact that I live in a place that the good fishing season is the colder months. And today, while I record this, it is 38 degrees outside. It's cold season. The ponds have been stocked. It's time to teach my little boy more about fishing. That's what I'm excited about. I would be more excited about the Utah-BYU game, other than the fact I think BYU is probably going to bend Utah over and make an example of them. And even if they do, I'm still going to find a way to laugh. Okay. Really, the whole point of this whole recording is to say that I finally recorded something. So I apologize if this sounded like a ramble. But the meat and potatoes of this is, remember, just because you're offended doesn't mean that you're right. And probably try and laugh at whatever joke is being thrown at your expense or your beliefs rather than get upset. You're going to be much happier. So anyways, hope you enjoyed this episode. It's only 10 minutes long, not even 10 minutes. Next episode, we're going to have a guest. I know I've said that before and it doesn't usually come true, but next episode, I'm hoping we have a guest. So enjoy. Happy Halloween. Happy November. Put the Christmas tree down.